And here's another update on Skykeeper. As you can see, I've tweaked my graphics a little bit and some of my colors to make it feel a little bit more realistic and less blue. And we have a friend running up to see us. Say hello to Waterdeer. He's great. Okay, to start this off, let's cover the new developments with the Keepers. First on the menu is, bang, new art. Less crispy, much better. Now you can sort of see what these characters are a little bit. Shadona's sort of got this lung dragon thing going on. Leclerc might look like an orc in this image, but she's an Oni, she's red. Sevely is still like an amalgamation of woodland things, probably just like a big whooping tiger or something like that. I don't even really know what the hell he's supposed to be. Fun, though. That's just supposed to be the fun character. And Shagra is like a wingless sphinx with people hands, because none of the keepers can just be normal characters that are whatever they're supposed to be. And as for their personalities, Shadona's basically just channeling Iroh at any given time, but with a little bit more wearing Crocs with socks. Leclerc is just sort of in your face, but also very bombastic, loud, slightly obnoxious, short-tempered, but generally kind of just a fun character to be around. Sevely is just like your best friend automatically, just the best person, that's who he's supposed to be, and Shagra is very wise and worldly, but sort of kind of hides in the dark a little bit, but not necessarily because she's hiding from you, she just likes the quiet. And here in the next little bit I'm going to be trying to model these characters to put them in the game, which I've not got a whole lot of experience modeling soft objects like people, so let's hope I can get something that isn't entirely cursed this time. And now that we've heard about the new information on the Keepers and their lore, I've brought us back into the editor, rather than the actual game, because I feel like I can show you guys what's going on a little bit better if we need to go over blueprints or anything, God help our souls. But this is the new version of the coastline test, as you saw before. The grass ground has a little bit of texture going on to break it up a little bit, and it's a little bit more, yellowy. Because everything felt really kind of blue and teal before, and I feel like they needed more green. The rocks have some texture on them now. I basically added textures instead of flat colors because the terrain before kind of looked like it had been spray painted. And I bit the bullet and fixed that. Also, these rocks are glittery, just like the other ones. Hello, Waterdeer. And I'm really digging it because it makes it feel more realistic. Actually, the glitteriness gets more dense in these certain areas. You can see the stripes in the rock have denser glitters because I wanted to say the mica content is higher in those layers. I added a waterfall, which is still in the works because the refraction of the new water shader is still kind of screwed up, but as you can see, we have a little bit of foam going on in the shallower depths. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Wind Waker, but I wasn't exactly going for that initially because I forgot that Wind Waker had actual texture on its water. I thought it was just blue. But I digress. We have this foamy stuff on here that looks really nice and kind of adds a little bit of texture to the Toon Water shader, which I've gone and screwed with a little bit to make it look a little bit more like that 90s anime water. So we have the teal green in there and the more blue, and it's more blue on the surface, so I think it looks better. The waterfall has a more dense normal map on it, and I tried to get like the layers of foam falling off of it, so I think I've kind of nailed that a little bit. Although, I need to make a new model because that one just goes up and over, and I need to layer it a little bit, like this would come up over a river. Which I still have to make some river chunks because that's going to be a bear. The grass is pretty much unchanged. I still don't have an underwater effect yet on this area, but that can all be done in time. I've been doing a little bit of testing, as you can see, with AI, so Waterdeer follows me because I've got a nav mesh on here, and boy howdy, that was a problem. Well, not really a problem, is you have to build the level. And there's something wrong with Unreal 4 right now, or Windows or something, and randomly the level just won't build. It'll just crash everything and lock up entirely, and I have to restart my entire computer to get that to work. It's a great time whenever you have hard disk, because I'm poor and lazy. And haven't got around to, jamming an SSD in this thing because, space is expensive. The windmills still have humongous hitboxes. But I've been busy at work in the meantime, making some other assets. I've got large rocks. This is the first Lord's Rock. And it's sort of just, you know, it's a boulder. It's literally called Large Boulder. It's a little bit squishy. Kind of has some of that crunchy texture stuff going on. I think it fits the game a little bit. They've all got moss. This is the second one. And ironically, I like it in this position more than its original one, which is sort of flipped over sideways. Because it just kind of looks good rising out. Especially considering that I've got moss on it now. Hello, Waterdeer. Go over there. I've got moss on it now. With like layers. And it looks soft and fuzzy. And I just kind of want to touch it. I'm really digging the way that the moss works. Which is ironically the same way that your fur works whenever it's not set to waterfall. Yeah, just keep moonwalking. So we have the testing level for AI. I've got other deer. Everything's deer. Oh dear. And basically these guys are set up so that about every between 3 and 15 seconds after they reach the location, they will run somewhere else. And whenever they're stopped, they graze in a random time period. Waterdeer does it too. You, there you go. Must not be hungry. And they only update their positions, like, whenever they're running every so often. Like, they have to stop beforehand. I'll show you that in the thing. Although, I think something's a little bit broken because none of them are moving. Oh, there they go. Yeah, it was just something a little bit weird happening. Sometimes weird stuff happens and I gotta figure it out because, like, water deer moonwalk sometimes. And it was sort of a bear to get these guys to start walking instead of running. Because water deer runs on a different type of AI. These guys are like a hard-coded blueprint AI. And water deer's using a blackboard and a behavior tree. Which seems to be a little bit more reliable, although we have this going on. But that's part of the animations. They all have the same animations. And he's set to, whenever you move sideways, he's set to use the turning animation. And randomly it'll get stuck in the turning animation. And I have no idea why, because I've debugged it and looked at the values and printed the values and... You're misbehaving. But how could it be mad at a face like that? Yeah, and these guys just sort of run around. They almost kind of queue. Whenever they run into each other, they aren't at their final location yet, so they don't run away. So they just wait until the other one runs away. I'm gonna have to blur that out, aren't I? Kind of inside of each other. So yeah, they're sort of random. They don't interact with me. I was just making sure that I could make a nav mission, try to figure out how the animations work. So that's basically kind of what I've been doing lately. It's taken a while, like a long time, because it's just... I don't know, tutorials work, but it's complicated. And I have to wrap my mind around it. And the vice of my mind is a couple of stripped threads. And these guys are doing weird things. But yeah, it's cool. I've also added one of them to the Wandering Woods if we make it a little bit more daytime. You can see he's sort of chilling. If I hit 7. Hey. Hey, buddy. Did I break it? Are you broken? I think he's broken. Hey! He's fixed! Where'd the other deer go? Map check found some issues. Can I figure out what the issues are? No! Why? Because the issues that it shows me, I can't find what it's talking about. It's referencing some kind of like shadows set to maximum. And I'm like, what shadows? You're not telling me about the correct shadows, but it'll be fine. Hello? Oh, I'm all alone. Oh no. Friend stuck. Ah! I'm stuck! Friend fixed. Yeah, the other deer is fucked off. I have no idea where he's gone. But Waterdeer seems to be navigating the Wandering Woods alright. This whole area is foobar. I really need to make these ferns smaller. They're just so big. Like, unrealistically large. Ferns are non-vascular plants. They can't have big. They'll collapse. They're not growing in the correct bunches either. Oh, there you are. Hey. Hey. Yeah, there we go. Ah! Yay! He's unscrewed himself. Get over here. I'm just gonna hit 7 until you're fixed. Yeah, this is showing an issue with the Wandering Woods. Oh, he's having fun. Yeah, there's the point he's going to. Yeah, the Wandering Woods, as of right now, are not gonna have animals in them. Might make it even creepier. Because anything in here has no idea how to deal with the trees. Because these tree instances are placed after the nav mesh is made, the nav mesh doesn't include them. So he just sort of runs through everything, and he's really lucky right now. Go, Waterdeer, go! I don't know, it hasn't crashed into anything yet. But you can see before he was getting jammed up on those trees. Oh, yep, he's stuck now. But yeah, it doesn't recalculate the nav mesh. So that's going to be interesting whenever it comes to any sort of companion following you around. I'm probably going to have to make it so that any mission involving going into the Wandering Wood, your buddy disappears. Or just doesn't come with you. Because, like, even Waterdeer here will likely... Let's see if I can get him stuck. Oh, he's handled it like a champ. Oh, no, there he is. It bumps into things. It'll break the immersion. But yeah, that's just something I need to work with. I don't know if it'll be a huge problem. I don't think it'll be. I mean, the easiest solution to this is just... Ah! Now there's nothing to get stuck on. This is what you see, buddy. This is all that you see. I, on the other hand, get this. Or this. Or this. Ah! Yeah, Waterdeer isn't with me in this one. He'd break things. So just to kind of wrap things up back in the asset testing world, where, oh yeah, did I mention that I made up a whole bunch of flowers? Yeah, we got flowers now, of all different types. We got lavender, and daisies, and white flowers, and those red flowers, and yeah, they look great. They're actually modeled properly in comparison to the other ones, so that or it's really textured properly, so that they move on the top and not the bottom, so we don't get all that weird stuff. That moving grass. But yeah, they look good and are a nice addition to a big field of things. I need to make a bunch of like tulips and poppies too, because I want some flower fields. Although these might work just fine. I need to stop making foliage. Because that's all I've been doing lately is just making plants. Plants! Wow, that... it's broken. But yeah, you can see here on the waterfall, if we get up closer to it, it sort of fades out. I need to do a little bit of work with the stuff on the bottom because it's supposed to be white, although it's not... I think I've still got it set to, like, metallic. That lower section of the foam. Depth fade doesn't work for that. That's just a gradient that I handmade because the internal gradients are an absolute bear to work with. It's really a pain in the ass to do some of these things, and I need to make a PNG that's a higher resolution. Instead of 8-bit, make it like 16-bit, although that's I need for landscape stuff at the same time, but that's no big deal. That's things that almost nobody's gonna get, and if you do get, good for you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, a little bit of shameless whoring out of everything because I've got like 11 subscribers. Fuck everything. But yeah, here's my big rocks. I placed them here, just sort of in positions. They look nice. That one's got an ass crack. Yeah. Boom. This is the original one that doesn't have the, moss. And the one with the moss is over here. Basically, the moss is just a couple of layers. It's not the whole rock. It's just the areas with rock, or moss, that are pasted onto it. And I did that on purpose for performance reasons. Because Lot Zero has, like, having 3 entire rocks, this thing's got like 14,000 polygons, is kind of a lot. So optimizing it a little bit. I could optimize it even further by making the third layer even smaller because there's less of it because it tapers off. But I think it'll be fine. Like, the moss looks good. It looks good. This whole rock looks excellent. It has the good. And I think going any more, like, detailed in it would kind of get too realistic, and I'm kind of going for the slightly cartoonish look with the sparkling rocks and everything. I'm really enjoying it. Things are looking nice. This world is going to be, like, crazy in a while. Oh yeah, these things. These fucking things. I was, yeah, these are just some vehicle shapes. They're just chrome right now. They're like Mungie chrome. And, there's supposed to be a flying machine. You can't interact with it right now unless I do this. Where's it 0? Ah, yes. Yeah, they, you have to accelerate with them. Their flight characteristics are absolutely buns because I forgot how the, thing worked with, making flying stuff. So I end up like, look, I'm going like Tokyo drifting it now, and now it's right. I don't know. It feels awful to fly because if you like go side to side, it locks for some reason. Even though I have it set to reset the stuff, it's just bad, and I think it looks like we've got Z fighting going on the surface of. It's just bad, but hey, we can fly it around, and it looks great. And what happens if we crash into something? It's sideways. We just go right fucking through it. I need to steal the blueprint from the flying thing and work on my things a little bit because currently space is pull up and shift is push down because I played a lot of RoboCraft and that makes sense. So forward and back is speed. Because you can't stop this thing. Hey, look at me. I'm a spaceship. Whoa.